It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Ferrall has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. It's Ferrall on the bench, coast to coast in the biggest way possible. Hanging out the bad seed, broken in a bad apple with a bad attitude. We are live in New York City, the Big Apple. Ooh. People dressed in plastic bags, directed traffic, some kind of fashion shaking up Snoopy, along with the great manager of our times, Carver High. And of course, Frank the Tank, Luke, I am your father. This is Coast to Coast on a Thursday. We'll have Gabe Morency styling from Vancouver. What a game last night. Coach James Young on the lion's share. Davis Maddock will join us with his thoughts and snags for tonight. Plus, Adam Kaplan, our NFL insider, getting ready to go win, loss, tie, win, loss, tie, win, loss, tie. Carver High tomorrow taking the Long Island Ducks over to Citi Field. They will replace the Mets in a staggering development in Major League Baseball. They will replace the Mets as the new home offering in Queens for the fans. The young ladies, the Long Island Ducks, undefeated on the season, as opposed to the Mets, who lose frequently. Mr. Carver, good afternoon.
Happy Thursday, Scotty. Indeed, you're right. The Ducks will be at Citi Field tomorrow night. They get to go out there pregame, walk around the field, the parade around the warning track, do the whole deal tomorrow night. So that should be a lot of fun. In fact, Ray Lewis was even called up last week to play in the second and third grader game, Scotty. So she got the bump up a week ago. Got to play a little extra in the older kids.
I'm hoping to see her on the field with a giant chunk of Red Man in her right cheek, wrapped in bubble gum and spitting profusely on the field the entire parade.
You might be looking forward to that. I'm not quite sure how Nicole will feel about it, but I'm sure we would be looking forward to seeing her do that.
Don't narc her out.
Don't narc her out.
Don't say anything. Just let it happen. Let it evolve.
Go chase Willie around in the grandstand. We'll take care of things out here on the field.
Yeah.
We do have some day ball for you to start things off today. We love afternoon baseball on Coast to Coast. Day ball. The Diamondbacks lead the Reds 3-1 in Cincinnati. They are in the top of the seventh inning now. I saw your boy, young Jock Peterson, has a homer for the Snakes this afternoon, his fourth of the year, so nice job by him. The Twins have a 9-1 lead on the Mariners right now, top of the seventh inning at Target in Minneapolis, as they look like they are going to take that one. We have one game that is about to start out at Coors Field. The Giants and the Rockies getting together this afternoon, Scotty. Look who it is. Our pal Cal Quantrill, getting the ball for the Rockies. You have Keaton Wynn going for San Francisco. They're minus 130 on the road. Rockies are plus $110 and a 9.5. They did get over that last night, Scotty, as there's not been many overs at Coors Field this year.
Just win, baby. Give me the Giants there. I will never bet on the Rockies.
You can't bet on the Rockies. They're such a bad team. You just want absolutely no part of them whatsoever. We also have going on this afternoon the opening round of the Wells Fargo Championship down at Quail Hollow in Charlotte, North Carolina. Of course, a signature event. All the heavy hitters are in town, aside from, of course, Scotty Scheffler, who stayed home with his wife. That means we have opportunities for everybody else. Jason Day and Xander Schauffele have the early 4-under lead. Look who it is. Sepp Straka involved at 3 under. Rory, Lee, don't call me Gil Hodges, the Todd father, Brendan Todd, Hoagie Sandwich, Ricky Fowler at 2 under, a former champion at the Wells Fargo. So we have ourselves a nice leaderboard to kick things off. They're only a couple of hours in. We also have, and how about this, bonus golf this week, Scotty. 2 events. Because it's a signature event, they let all the schleps go over to to go over to Myrtle Beach. All the hacks got to go over to Myrtle Beach to play in the Myrtle Beach Classic, where Bo Hostler is 7 under and has the lead over there. We love
Bo Hostler. What is happening here? 2 tournaments at once.
2 tournaments at once. I got Bobby Mack over at Myrtle Beach. He's 4 under, tied for 8th. So we're involved in both. I mean, you know that we weren't going to not have somebody over at Myrtle Beach. So we had to have that there. We have a lot to do today, of course. We have 4 playoff games tonight, 2 NBA, 2 NHL. We'll go through what happened last night, and we're going to dive into it a little deeper after you talk to Gabe. But, man, you must have been losing weight with that Knicks game last night, watching that Knicks game in their big win over the Pacers, going up 2-0. Brunson leaves the game, comes back. They lose Anunoby. They still get the win. Carlisle crying like a baby afterwards, Scotty. That was a lot of fun.
I got to tell you, I always felt, and I was talking to my buddy, when he went down, my buddy was like, it's over. And I said, he'll come back. He'll play in the second half. He's an animal. He'll play. I don't know what it is. I thought it was his shot to the heart where he got that shot to the Satchel Paige area. I thought maybe he had an injury there, but it was his foot. And then he comes limping out like Willis Reed on the anniversary of the Reed walkout for the second half in 1970. And then once I saw Clyde out on the floor getting accolades, I knew it was on. And then he still busted off a 29 chip, Ragu with a 28 piece, OG with a 28 and a ham sandwich to go with it. Now he's down, and there's nothing more lingering and in terms of like recovery, the hamstring never gets better. Once you screw the hammy up, you're done. He's done. I will be shocked if he plays in the Fieldhouse in Indianapolis. I think at some level, Mike, like I was stressed out watching it, as always with the Knicks, but there has to come a time when this is going to catch up with them. There is no way they can play with 5 guys 48 minutes every night, and one of them's injured already. Frankly, they have no bench. Their bench is awful. I'm sorry. Burks used to be able to play. Now he should be playing with me on Friday and Saturday mornings. All I know is there's no way that they can keep this up without depth and without their stretch 3. I think he's, he showed last night with that 28 that he's dangerous. He can do it all, and he can block shots, rebound, rip and run, and shoot. He can hit threes. He can do everything, and now he's just gone. So now Precious is in, and he's a quarter of what Anunoby is. So I think that, frankly, they're in big trouble in Indianapolis. I think they're going to lose.
Yeah, look, they're running out of bodies, that's for sure. And when you're playing guys 45 to 48 minutes a night, eventually it is going to catch up. We will do a lot of that. We have 2 games tonight, Game 2 in Boston, Celtics and the Cavaliers, a Game 2 in Oklahoma City between the Mavs and the Thunder. I'm hoping, Scotty, we get a little bit more out of Luka tonight. You didn't get much in game number 1. I'd like to see Luka give a little bit more than 19 points. That was tough watching that the other night.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it, to be honest with you, with as much crying as he does to the refs. Like, he's injured to me. Obviously, something's wrong with him. He's not moving at all. Yeah. He's got the knee problem, and I think that that's catching up with him. His shooting from outside is 22%. It's awful. He's not hitting, and I think it becomes apparent to me that it's Kyrie's job now to go off for the Mavericks tonight. He has to have 35 points tonight for them to even, I think, have a chance, to be honest with you. Luka's not Luka right now. There's something wrong with him. No. And here's the thing. This team they're playing is the real deal. I'm sick and tired of hearing about how young they are. What they are is they're perfectly young and perfectly paid, and none of them have become prima donnas like Durant and Butler, who won everything in the world and never play. I'll give KD credit. He plays, but all he does is complain too.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
I kind of go back and forth with where all of this should land on the PGA Tour. I think individual 72 holes is what I really like for professional golf, for big time events.
Like, we're gonna make this all about teams. We're gonna have home games, and you know, that's gonna be the focus of this competition. I don't think that works if you have guys that are still trying to play at the highest level on an individual front.
Only on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the Mavericks. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
In-game live, all access. Only on SportsGrid.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think, that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government, or someone you would say in legislation, to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
It's the BetMGM offer of the week. Get up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. For all the games in the playoffs. Set your picks and shoot your shot. And turn any game into a must-watch. Download the BetMGM app, and it's on.
Jason Day's green pants he's wearing at the Wells Fargo golf tournament right now in, all his glory, these green pants he's got on. I need Carver High to wear those at the Cape Cod Open this year. That'll be interesting. Catch Sports Rage weeknights at 10 to 1 Eastern with Gabe Morency. It's unequaled. You got him on all of the TV platforms and OTTs, all on the radio, including 1090 ESPN Radio in San Diego from Mexico to the Canadian Rockies, all over the West Coast at night on 1090, booming. It's just the most unbelievable signal ever. Plus, SiriusXM Channel 159, Sports Byline USA, and all their incredible affiliates. Sports Rage, weeknights at 10. Catch it with Gabe and all of his crazy friends. And you can catch him here every day, of course, on Coast to Coast. Last night, Gabe, 3 goals in under 5 minutes by the Canucks. In the third period, they outshot Edmonton 19-7. I'm a big believer in teams that have been playing. They had eliminated Nashville Friday night. Edmonton had a week off. I still can't believe Dallas blew that 3-0 lead on Colorado, who had a week off, and they scored 4 and Woods overtime winner to win that game in Dallas. But I bet on Vancouver again last night, and they got it done with that huge third period. Garland was involved with a nice wrister.
Yeah, it's been an epic Stanley Cup playoffs, and it usually is, but this has really been a special one so far. The NHL is a unique league, as we all know, in which they have higher seeds playing against each other in the first round, right? So it's an unbalanced playoff format. It leads to great matchups in the first round, and they had great television ratings in the first round. But when you get into the second round, it means all the teams are good that are left, right? You have to be good to get through that first gauntlet, and we're seeing no lead is safe right now in the National Hockey League playoffs. The Vancouver Canucks came back. They were down 3-1 to the Nashville Predators with 3 minutes remaining. In Nashville, they pulled their goalie. They scored 2 goals, and they ended up winning the game in overtime. Last night, they spot the Oilers a 4-1 lead. They were sloppy early. They paid the price. They come back again. It's a dangerous way to live, but at the same point in time, the Canuck players are really starting to believe in themselves. They never tap out. It's funny, they talked about how they watched the Real Madrid Champions League soccer game as a team. And we all know what happened in that game, right? They scored 2 goals in the 89th and 91st minute to come back. They were trailing 1-0. I told people, Scott, that the Canucks were going to beat the Oilers. Out of 24 ESPN hockey analysts, 23 of them picked the Oilers to win the series. Out of 17 NHL network analysts, 16 of them picked the Oilers. Certain death. Like, I can't believe that a team like the Canucks get as little respect as they do. They're underdogs again in Game 2. Scott, they're going to win this series, bro. I bet the Canucks to win this series in 6 games at 10-1. I'm just concerned right now that they might win in 5.
Well, I'm with you. I'm rooting for them now. They beat them every single time they played them this year, including last night.
And people said that didn't matter. Wow, that's the regular season. It's 4. Well, now, I tweeted out last night after the game. Did this one matter? I swear to God,
no,
Scott, Edmonton Oilers fans, they're going to be down 3-1 in the series. Still doesn't matter. Those 3 games didn't mean anything. At some point, these games start to count.
Why is it that can you explain it to me, Gabe, the Leafs and the Oilers, how every year it's like a passage of spring that they both fail so miserably? It really is unbelievable to me with their talent. Like, they have been favored, the Oilers, to win the Stanley Cup for like the whole season, and that no one can beat them. And then here they are getting beat up 4-1. That is a choke.
You know, the Edmonton Oilers they're an extremely talented team. They're a public team, but people buy in too much to the Connor McDavid and the Draisaitl stuff. You know this. You've been around hockey a long time. You cover the NHL. The NHL isn't a sport that you can win with a couple of stars. It sort of takes a chemistry.
Team.
The Oilers are a good team, but let's not kid ourselves. The Oilers are a really good team. They're better than the Leafs are, right? They have more grit. They've won playoff series before. It's not their fault that others make them the favorite all the time. I mean, come on, bro. The Vancouver Canucks won the division. The Vancouver Canucks in the same division as Edmonton were in. So they won the division, Scott. They went 4-0 against them this year in the regular season. Yet the Edmonton Oilers were minus 280 favorites, and I just talked about it. Out of like 37 media personalities or whatever, or 43 media types, 41 of them picked the Oilers to win the series. Pretty low-hanging fruit. And they all said the same thing. Well, because of Connor McDavid. They've had Connor McDavid for a while, Scott. Have they ever made it to the Stanley Cup? No. It's like, Connor McDavid. Good for him.
It's like, it's almost like the Kentucky Derby in that literally NBC had 20 experts there. I mean, A to Z. And all 20 of them were swing and a miss. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister hit Mystic Dan. No one on earth except the Prime Minister hit the race. And everyone thinks Edmonton's going to win every game they play.
You know, and they don't. And people bought into the LA Kings stuff, right? Like the Oilers. And the Oilers, listen, they're super impressive, Scott. They had a 16-game win streak in the regular season. They were dominant, bro. Like, since they fired their coach, they were like 43-15 or something like that. And they won low-scoring games against the LA Kings. So people think, oh, my God, if the Oilers are going to keep the puck out of the net, they're going to be unbeatable if they've learned to play defense. The LA Kings are offensively challenged. Let's just put it kindly. All right? So it's easy to shut down the LA Kings from an offensive perspective.
When we get back, we'll ask Morency about the other series that moves to Raleigh for tonight between the Rangers and Canes, and both NBA playoff games tonight. It's coast to coast on a Thursday. Don't go anywhere.
You got to get more athletic and better defensively, right? You got to get better shooting. And if you can do those two things and hope that Darvingham takes the next step, if you bring him back, they could be better. But if you don't do that, you must more than anything the Lakers, you must get rid of Rob Pelinka and get a better basketball guy.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Ferrall, coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from three on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live, prime time.
We got not one, but two coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage Late
sort
Night.
of has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
They're going to shift to Raleigh for Game 3 here between the Canes and Rangers. Gabe, I thought the Rangers looked fantastic at the Garden, and Trocheck with the double overtime winner, the stuffer between the pads on the doorstep on the post. I thought was a huge clutch win for the Rangers. I think we'll see an entirely upside-down series tonight. I think the Canes are going to be flying for 60 minutes, and I'm not going to be surprised at all if not only they beat them, but beat them soundly, and I think it goes over. I do not believe it's going to be 4-3, 4-3. I think the Canes are scoring goals tonight at home. They have to win. They are urgent tonight in their step. I think they're going to skate faster, hit harder, play dirty, do whatever it takes to win that game. Do you think I'm crazy?
No, I don't. It really is unbelievable, though, the magic that the Knicks and Rangers have at MSG right now, isn't it?
Yeah.
There is something special going on. You can't deny it. And, Carolina played well in the last game. Goaltending, it's not like Freddie Anderson's been bad. It's just Shesterkin's been better. And the Rangers look like a Stanley Cup team for real. Like they look the part, right? And I'm buying in that this team can and will go to the Stanley Cup. I'm buying in that it's a 1994 revival all over again, Scott. It's it's from a New York connection. There's so many things here. The Knicks and the Rangers, both. There was a story in the Post today about the other synergies. The solar eclipse, O.J. Simpson car chase, O.J. Simpson dies. Well, who do they play in the 1994 Stanley Cup Finals? The Vancouver Canucks.
Yeah.
The Vancouver Canucks. And here we go. I told people last week, I said, 94 is going to happen all over again. It's going to be Vancouver and New York in the Stanley Cup Finals. And people kind of looked at me kind of sideways. Keep your eye on that. But similar to the Knicks going to the Fieldhouse now, I think the Pacers are going to find a way to get it done. The Pacers and the Canes, sort of similar situations. They both played well, but they've lost in the end. So it doesn't matter that you played well. You ended up losing. I'm not a fan of the price tonight, Scott, but I do agree with you. I think the Canes win this game tonight.
Do you think that those injuries are going to catch up with the Knicks in Indy and they'll lose those games there, both of them?
Well, I tell you what, OG Anunoby, you know what an impact this guy has on a basketball game, specifically for the Knicks. What are they, 25-5 now or whatever it is? 26 and what he's in the lineup. And I noticed one thing with Pascal Siakam, he was really having a hard time with OG. Right? I mean, former teammates, and OG's already a badass at the defensive end. And don't tell me he doesn't know every move that Siakam has.
Yep.
They've been teammates forever. right? I mean, they grew up together. They've been teammates forever. They practice against each other. They're good friends. And I've noticed Siakam's trying to stay away from OG Anunoby. Like, OG comes in, Siakam forces a bad shot. So that's something to keep your eye on. He's such an impactful basketball player. So OG's status to me is pretty critical there. It's going to be a fun series. I think the Knicks end up prevailing when it's all said and done, but I think the Pacers still have some wins in them.
I don't think he can play with that hamstring. It's that simple. Those things are the most nagging, infuriating. The recovery just takes forever for a hammy.
You have no chance against the Celtics either without OG Anunoby. Just if you win the series, point blank.
So what about tonight in Boston? Again, another slaughter of the Cavs for the Celtics?
Probably, yeah. You got to ask yourself, Scott, do you want to bet on the Cavaliers? You willing to put $500 on this? Like, you know what I mean? No. Right? Like, you have to sort of put yourself in the shoes. Well, not that I love Boston or anything. Listen, Boston can be flaky. We've seen them blow double-digit leads in the regular season against inferior teams. We've seen them, in the playoffs. They'll usually have one off night in a series. But I think they want to make short work of the Cavs, especially at home. I think the Cavs might catch them in Cleveland for one game or something. But I think they roll them again tonight, Scott. And I'm not going to get in front of Oklahoma City. I know Dallas will be closer tonight, but I think I'm going to take the Thunder again tonight. I'm going to go with the money line parlay, Boston and Oklahoma City. I did it the other night. I'll do it again.
I'm with you. Do you think that Shai Gilgeous or Luka deserve that MVP over Joker or no?
You can make a legitimate argument, yes. And I'm a big Jokic guy, so I'm not. I would say Luka just because his numbers were so stupid. Right? The Oklahoma City Thunder, they were the 1 seed. They do have a lot of talent on that team as well. You can make an argument for any one of them. Let's be real, Scott. Unless you bet on the MVP thing, then it's just, they're all good, bro. It's a debate, It's like the Stones or the Beatles.
We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good show tonight, 10 East.
You got to get more athletic and better defensively, right? You got to get better shooting. And if you can do those two things and hope that Darvin takes the next step, if you bring them back, they could be better. But if you don't do that, you must more than anything the Lakers, you must get rid of Rob Pelinka and get a better basketball guy.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Ferrall, coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from three on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live, prime time.
We got not one, but two coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage Late
This sort of
Night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
I just made an alt bet with BetMGM, a very significant bet that has nothing to do with anything other than that they allowed me to do it. I bet $1,500 on Carver High wearing Jason Day's green pants on round 1 of the Cape Cod Open this year, that he will don the green Jason Day pants. And look at it this way. If I lose the bet, once the initial wager is settled, BetMGM will put $1,500 in bonus bets into my account immediately after that has settled. The bet on whether or not he'll come out in the Jason Day green pants for round 1 of the Cape Cod Open. All you have to do is sign up for the BetMGM Sports mobile app on iOS or Android, or at BetMGM.com. Open your account with $10. Get rolling. Bet on whatever you want. Bet on the Cavs tonight. See how that goes for you. Bet $1,500 on the Cavs tonight. Once you lose that bet, they'll put $1,500 in your account, and then you'll be as happy as a pig in shack. So go check out BetMGM.com and the BetMGM mobile app. You're going to love it.
I'd say you got a good chance of getting that, considering I have. They're not as dark green as the ones that Jason Day are wearing, but I have more of a lighter, Kelly green type of pant that I broke out for the first time last year at the Cape Cod Irish Open. So there's a good chance that you're going to be able to go to the window on a wager like that, if that can happen up there come this October. Let's get going with the Knicks from last night. Of course, we know they beat the Pacers 130-121. They will take a 2-0 series lead back to Indiana tomorrow night. Jalen Brunson, once again, Scotty, was the story. Despite missing the entire second quarter in the locker room, he came out in the second half. He led the charge, still finished with 29 points. He was doing work in the fourth quarter on TNT.
Pressure on him. Brunson really having to work here. Brunson off the glass, scores. Wow, and one. Pacers need a stop. Knicks trying to add to it. Brunson going to work. Turn around. Good! And that's when you should go get him, right? When he starts to dance like that.
I mean, honestly, I've never seen a team get so many ugly buckets in the paint, last-second passes in the paint for, buckets to even Precious, Achua, to Hartenstein. I thought they all played phenomenally well. Brunson, 29, 2 and 5. 3 threes. Big Ragu DiVincenzo, 28 with 6 threes. White boy Rick, 14 and 12, the double-double. Almost had the trip dub with 8 times. He was incredible. Hart, the double-double, 19 and 15. He is the dirty dog. He also hit a 3, 8 of 12 from the floor. Anunoby, 28, 10 of 19 from the floor, 4 threes. I will say this. Oh, he also had a block. They're going to miss him like a baby misses its mama. Honestly, I am telling you, without this guy in the lineup, I think that'll be the end of him. I do not believe they can win without him. I actually believe they can win without Robinson. I do. I actually believe they can win without Randall. I know they can win without Bogdanovich. He should be playing with me on Mondays and Wednesdays. All I know is they will not win without OG Anunoby. And with a hammy, you might as well get the mustard out and a cold can of Schlitz, because you're going to need a whole 6-pack. Without him playing, you're going to need to be drunk because you're going to be mad watching the Celtics kick their ass.
It's very true. Look, I think that, and look, they're very pessimistic about OG. It sounds like it's going to be something that I don't think he'd at least got to be ready tomorrow night for Game 3, if at all. We'll see.
Oh, you can forget about tomorrow. Tomorrow and Sunday are over. He's not playing.
We'll see when they give us a real report. I think they can get through this series without him, because they're also already up 2 games. I don't think they can lose 4 out of 5 games with him not in the lineup. I don't think. Will it be tough? Of course it's going to be tough. They're not going to sweep him in it by any standard. But I think they can get through without him. Now, the next round, if they get there, they would need him for that, because we know how good they've been when he's been in the lineup this year.
Listen, I love the Knicks more than food, but I will say that I take that back. I like food more than the Knicks. Anyway.
You do. Some food, not all foods.
Yeah.
Tomahawk steaks.
Yes.
Things like that.
Shrimp.
Big meatballs, shrimp, Joey Prawns, stuff like that you like.
What's the dessert I like so much? The Italian dessert that I...
Tiramisu.
Tiramisu
that you like. Yeah.
That's my favorite. So I think there's rum in that. Anyway, I think that they could actually. It's going 6 or 7. They're in trouble. No one thinks they're in trouble at all because they're up 2. They won 2 games at the Garden with him. Now he's gone, and they're going to get their ass beat in Indianapolis. Mark my words. They couldn't stop. This little TJ, they couldn't stop Obi Toppin. I thought that would have been the easiest thing they had to do in the series was stop those 2 bums. And now Obi Toppin looks like he's all world. He's scoring from deep. He's scoring inside. He's getting to the line. He's killing them. And look, they're already loaded. I think Siakam and Turner are going to go off at the field house. I think Naismith and Nebhard will play even better. I didn't think they played bad at all in New York. They could have won both games. Both games were close. Yeah. And they could have won both games with Anunoby on the floor, with Mitchell Robinson on the floor, with all of those guys not on the floor, 2-2 coming back for Game 5. And I guarantee you the Knicks will be in trouble in Game 5 at home at the Garden. They were down 10 at the half last night with him having 28. Okay, he got injured in the second half. They were in trouble with him. And I agree with this. They got every call. They got every call in New York. So they're going to get no calls in Indy. And then Game 5 to me is wide open. That's the series right there. The Turners, the Game 5. I mean, the Turner in the series. This will turn the series on its head if Indy can win Game 5 in New York, as I think they're winning both games in Indy. Now, everyone I talk to says they're going to come home 3-1 because they're just going to go in there and win. I am telling you, they're in big trouble, mister, when they go there with that. They have literally 5 guys. That's all they have. And they have to all play 48 minutes. They're in trouble. None of them will admit it because they're up 2-0, but they're in trouble.
We will get to the calls and Rick Carlisle after the break. Let's first hear from Tom Thibodeau. Very proud, Scotty. So proud of the toughness of Jalen Brunson coming back in that game and getting the job done.
Yeah, a lot of toughness. That's sort of, I think, the makeup. We know that's his makeup, but it's also the makeup of our team.
All 5 guys.
I thought we started the game well. The end of the first didn't go as well as we would like. Then the second quarter was a problem, but I love the way we responded in the third, and then the way we finished it out in the fourth.
So let's just be clear here. Now, I think the key is Deuce McBride. He's going to get way more minutes. He's got to shoot better. He was terrible again last night. He had 4 points. Achua has to play, I think, at a higher level than 8 points. He was 4 of 5 from the floor. I thought he did a great job. He's going to have to do double that. And those 2 are going to play. They're going to have to be forced to play Burks. I mean, that's just all there is to it. They have no one else. They literally have no one else unless Spike Lee goes with them to Indy and they suit him up. Because remember, Spike thinks he's on the team. He's had this thing going for 30 years where Spike actually thinks he's on the Knicks. Everything's about Spike at the Knicks games. It's so stale. Like, oh my God.
They got enough alumni sitting there at courtside.
Oh, okay. Can we show some hot chicks that are movie stars and stop showing that ugly looking little thing, whatever he is? I don't even care. I'm so bored to death with the Spike Lee. Oh my God. Like, how yawn. Oh, Christ.
You got to get more athletic and better defensively, right? You got to get better shooting. And if you can do those two things and hope that Darvingham takes the next step, if you bring him back, they could be better. But if you don't do that, you must more than anything the Lakers, you must get rid of Rob Pelinka and get a better basketball guy.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Ferrall coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from three on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live, prime time.
We got not one, but two coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage Late
This sort of
Night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
So Rick Carlisle is very angry. He got thrown out of the game last night at the Garden, double tech, and you knew it was going to happen. And you know what? If I'm him, I'd do the same thing. I would have been kicked out in the first quarter if I were coaching. He made it a lot longer than I would have. I thought he was right. I thought some of the calls were embarrassing. And I'll say this. All he did was plant the seed for games 3 and 4 in Indy, because all of the threats of 78 complaints to the NBA will accomplish absolutely nothing. Let me be clear, just so we're on top of this. Never once in the history of the NBA have they ever reversed the score of a game, ever.
No.
All they do is come up with an excuse for why it happened, and it was a mistake, and we're hoping it never happens again. They will never change any of the calls or the score of the game. But what they will do is they will shaft the Knicks on Friday and Sunday like there's no tomorrow. They won't get one call the entire time they're in Indy, except from their wives in their hotel room wondering what happened, because they're in deep water now, because he has thrown a fit, the whole small market against the big market nonsense. But he's got everyone's attention. And then not only that, he showed highlights of literally everything he said. They showed the highlights of the calls, and he was right on every one of them. Like the heart shove on Halliburton was like, right? Was that not obvious? I mean, he shoved him 12 feet across the timeline. And Hart's never guilty of anything. He's every call, I didn't do anything. The Knicks are in so much trouble with the refs in Indy. It's going to be their worst nightmare. It's coming. Count on it. So Carlisle, I think, did a great job of selling games 3 and 4 to the refs.
Yeah, that's what he did. It was a very long rant that he had after the game last night. Here is a piece of Rick Carlisle laying it in on the refs.
I'm always talking to our guys about not making it about the officials, but
it always is.
We deserve a fair shot, and it's just not. There's not a consistent balance, and that's disappointing. So, give New York credit for the physicality that they're playing with.
That's getting away with in Portuguese.
Their physicality is rewarded and ours is penalized.
Yeah.
Just,
there you go.
Time
That's
after time.
25,000 right there.
it's just I'm just really disappointed. Just really disappointed. The two technicals, you got to make a stand for your guys. You got to stand up for what's right and what's not right, and that was it. And so we need to get home. We need to play better.
Yeah, that they're dead in Indy. They're not going to get a call.
I think you're right. We know this. This has happened since the dawn of time in the NBA. This is setting up to make sure he gets all the calls when they go tomorrow night and Sunday there. I don't know if bringing up the big market, small market thing was the best idea. I think that just bringing up the 79 calls and 79, that probably would have been better. I don't know if Adam Silver is going to love, Scotty, him saying that the league doesn't cater to small market teams. I'm sure he's not going to be thrilled with him saying that. That's another $25K in the FedEx bag that's going to come his way by him saying that.
The thing is, I think, as you know, I don't deny that Adam Silver's playing with a multi-billion-dollar ball. I mean, this guy's got all the toys. I think he's kind of a dork. I mean, I'm you know how I am. I'm just like, this guy's a dork. I'm not going out with him to drink. I'm not. He's such a dork. I can't do it. He's a dork. He's a phony little weasel-looking skinny twig thing. And you heard me. You can quote me on that. What are they going to fine me? But here's the deal. There's no way there were 78 bad calls against the Pacers. But I'll say this, that's a den of iniquity, that field house. That's a nice advantage they got in their building, too. They're great fans in Indiana, basketball fans. That place is going to be on its ear on Friday night. Get ready. The Knicks are losing Friday night. Bet on the Pacers. Do it now before the spread changes.
I don't even need to play TJ McConnell. He basically said, coach is wrong. We lost the game. It is what it is. We don't care about the refs. Here's what I will say about TJ McConnell, Scotty. I know that Rick Carlisle has been doing this a long time. He knows a lot more than me, you, or anybody else. I think he needed to realize last night that his team played the best when that kid was on the floor. And I know he has his rotations and he was normally out there at the end of that game.
Why didn't he put him in?
McConnell did the best job on Brunson. Nobody else was handling Brunson like McConnell was. And he needed to be in the floor the last 5 minutes of that game. And I would think he's going to change that up tomorrow night, starting then.
That's a great point, Mike, by you. And I think that you're dead on. And I think that was why they lost the game. I did not think that Naismith and Nebhard, either one of them, none of them guarded him like McConnell. McConnell's half crazy. I mean, he plays in sixth gear in a race car. I mean, this guy is all the way in sixth doing $180. I mean, he means business defensively. He is up on you like a mosquito in your ear. He is painful, and I cannot believe he didn't play in the fourth. I cannot believe they didn't put him on him. That was why they lost. And then what did you think of the Ferrall, Reggie chants all night?
I thought that was cool. Look, and I think it's cool because Reggie wants that. Like, that's the whole reason that Reggie went there. Reggie went there because he wanted it to become about him. And he was able to get that at the end of that game. He's doing videos out in the park before the game. He's got Josh Hart, grabbing his headphones, telling him what they're saying. Reggie got all the attention, and that's precisely why he showed up, to get all the attention. He got it.
You're right.
I thought it was cool.
You're right. I don't – listen, I am the last person in the world that gives a rat's ass or a flying F about Spike Lee. I am so over that. That's like hanging out with your ex-wife. Oh, my God. Where do I sign up for more Spike Lee coverage? I mean, can we get the guy at the Dallas Stars games that shows the hot blonde behind him in the garden filming things? Can we get a guy that knows how to turn us on?
You got to get more athletic and better defensively, right? You got to get better shooting. And if you can do those two things and hope that Darvingham takes the next step, if you bring them back, they could be better. But if you don't do that, you must more than anything the Lakers, you must get rid of Rob Pelinka and get a better basketball guy.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Ferrall coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from three on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live, prime time.
We got not one, but two coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage Late
sort
Night.
of has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Carver High just reminded me how spoiled all the college kids are in New York City that come home for the summer, and none of them have jobs. All they do is party and have relations and smoke reefer. And he said, your son's one of them. And I said, you're right about that as well, Mike. Mike's been on a tear today. He's like 9-0 with his calls and his picks. It is true. The young gun came home today from San Diego State with his 4-0 and his bag of reefer. And he is already out and about with his friends causing havoc in New York City. It's very stressful for 34C when he's out and about in the big city causing trouble. And with as many hookers and, people that stab, shank, rape, and kill people here in this city on a daily basis in broad daylight, whether it's a kid on a city bike shooting another kid in the forehead with a 9 Glock or someone getting raped on my street. It's such a pleasant place to have your children wandering around causing trouble, particularly if they're high. Are we on the air? We are? Don't stick to sports. Okay. Sorry, Carver High. Looks like we're going to keep talking about the NBA.
They won't be running that clip in the next New York City tourism commercial. That won't be in there. That clip of you just there. That won't make the cut as they're trying to bring people into the city. Before I move on to tonight, I will tell you the Knicks are now minus 400 to win the series. If you think the Pacers can win 4 of the next 5, actually, I'm sorry. There you go. 5 minus 500 and plus 375. So it's been moving on me. There it is. Plus 375 for the Pacers.
I do not believe that this series is anywhere near being established. I think people in New York are so high on watching Brunson and the Knicks win 2 games that they fail to see the trouble in the water. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of being out on the ocean, deep sea fishing with your buddies, and you look out a mile ahead of the boat and there's a black giant cloud on the horizon. I always say it's a good time to turn the boat around and go back to the dock, because if you keep going near the black sky, bad things happen. Well, that's what's going to happen in Indianapolis. They're coming back here 2-2 for Game 5. We'll see how that all plays out. And you can call me whatever you want, but it's happening. Oh, it's going to happen, all right. Guaranteed. Everyone thinks the series is over. You're tripping, okay?
Before we go to tonight, so we have 2 games tonight. I'm going to get you those. I'll probably actually just start the top of the hour with them. I'll let you know the Twins did finish off the Mariners 11-1. So a quick getaway day plane ride for Seattle as they get out of Minnesota. The Diamondbacks lead the Reds 5-4 now, as the Reds did tie this game.
Blew it again.
They blew it again, and then the Diamondbacks retook the lead in the top of the 8th, an RBI single for Corbin Carroll. So they go to the bottom of the 9th at Great American Ballpark, 5-4. We'll see if the Diamondbacks can hold on
I have a ticket
to the
on
1-run
Reds.
lead.
It's not going well.
Not going well there. And the Giants have a 1-0 lead at Coors Field thanks to Michael Conforto as he hit a solo home run to get the party started out there at Colorado. Rory McIlroy just had an eagle, Scotty, on 7, and that gave him the outright lead. He is 5 under through 8 as he just tapped in for par on the 8th. So he is 1 ahead of Xander Schauffele, Sepp Straka. Matt Kuchar, geez. Who brought Matt Kuchar out here? How did Cooch get into this event?
Did they dust him off?
Unbelievable. So that's what's happening at the Wells Fargo and down at Myrtle Beach. My guy's Bobby Mack's now 5 under. He's only 2 back of Bo Hostler at the Myrtle Beach Classic. So we have all the golf happening. We're going to get into the Yankee game too next hour. They start at 5 o'clock today, Scotty. Yankees starting about an hour at the stadium. As I know I've taken joy in it, them smacking the Astros around again this week.
I know why they're starting at 5, because last night when Soto, Judge, and Stanton homered, several people were plucked in the eye by 120-mile-an-hour home runs. So now they want that to happen in kind of between the 5 and sunset hours. So if they can get the game in before it gets dark, not as many people will get plucked in the head in the upper deck or at 470 feet or with 120-mile-an-hour exit vel from Stanton. When all 3 of those guys hit home runs, it is party time in the Boogie Down.
They are looking for a clean 7-0 sweep of the Astros this season. They won't see them again. They will have beaten them all 7 times if they could finish them off this afternoon with Marcus Stroman. We'll give you the numbers for that at some point in hour number 2, but we'll come back with the 2 NBA games tonight, 2 game 2s.
I also hope that Houston doesn't get an NHL team.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
I kind of go back and forth with where all of this should land on the PGA Tour. I think individual 72 holes is what I really like for professional golf, for big time events.
Like, we're gonna make this all about teams. We're gonna have home games, and that's gonna be the focus of this competition. I don't think that works if you have guys that are still trying to play at the highest level on an individual front.
Only on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the Mavericks. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
In-game live, all access, only on SportsGrid.
They have a former executive that they claim was stealing proprietary information from them and passing it along. Initially, it looks like DraftKings is on the right side of this.
They were really heated about what they said, that he left the company right before the Super Bowl, allegedly took all this confidential information with him about the most important customers, the bettors that spend the most with the company.
Newswire.